Welcome to another episode of Edison Means Business. Our guests today are Brian Panzeri from La Bomboniere Bakery, Barbara Roos of the Edison Chamber of Commerce, and Jen D'Antonio from Hair Design 27. Today, we're focusing on small businesses, and Brian, I'm going to speak with you first because I've been a customer, if you will, of La Bomboniere for many, many years. And one thing I do have to say, La Bomboniere is not reinventing itself, but really all you're doing is redirecting what you've already established. You have a very long history right on Route 27. So tell us a little bit about La Bomboniere, something that maybe people don't know.
Well, sure. We've been in business since 1952 in our location that we are today, right on Route 27 in Edison. And we just celebrated our 60th anniversary last year and had a week-long event, and it was a great success. And what we try to do is we want to be traditional and classic, but we don't want to be old-fashioned. And one of the things you need to do is to keep up with the trends and some of the things that are happening. So you see all the different shows on TV now, and it's completely different than it was 15, 20 years ago. Right. People used to just leave everything to the cake decorators. Now everybody wants to have a role in designing the cake exactly as they want. But that's really what we're here for, is part of the appeal of coming to La Bomboniere is getting a unique cake that's exactly what you want, as opposed to going somewhere and getting something off the shelf.
Well, you're absolutely right. The only thing I must say is the quality and the tastiness of your baked goods is untouchable.
Oh, well,
really.
Well, thank you. And you know, that really comes from the other thing we try to do is to do things the old-fashioned way. So right. We make our fillings. When we have whipped cream on a cake, it's the same as what you do at home. It's heavy cream, it's vanilla, and it's sugar. That's it. That's what whipped cream is. It's not some kind of topping that you get out of a bucket. So we always try to stick to that. And I think people appreciate that, because if you're going to splurge with something, you might as well get something that's made with butter and real ingredients than something that's artificial. And you can tell in the taste.
Absolutely. And we'll be back to you. Jen, please tell us something now. The name of your shop actually has Route 27 on it. And tell us all about your business and what you bring to your customers and, of course, the Township of Edison.
Sure. Hair Design 27. We bought the name when we bought the salon 6.5 years ago, but we're family owned and operated. So the two operators that you'll have in the salon are myself and my sister, and we try to make it like you're welcoming into our home. The coffee area and the reception area has a rug, and everything's very homey, and people love how comfortable we make them feel, even just answering the phone. And that's what it's about. We're not the cattiness, we're not the rumors. It's come in, let your hair down, relax, and receive a service where you're going to feel better about yourself, you know, just entering our door. We do hair, nails, and skin. The only thing I don't do is body treatments. But we do waxing, facials, manicures, pedicures, extensions, you know, a little bit of everything.
And your hair is beautiful.
Yes.
How frequently do you change your hair color?
More frequently than my parents would prefer me to. It was platinum last week, and it'll probably change color in another month. But a lot of my clients will change colors not as drastically or as often as I do, but even seasonally. You know, the colors of the clothing you wear, your makeup, you change that with each season. Why not change your hair? It's another accessory.
Yes, for the fall.
You know, we do a little lighter and brighter for the summer, a little warmer and deeper for the winter. You could do the same technique hair color that I have with a brunette and a caramel highlight, with a brunette and a redhead highlight. So you can take the same look and just change the color and change the look completely.
Does it change your mood or your personality any?
Surprisingly, it changes the way people treat you. I kind of forget that my hair is bright pink right now, and I'll talk to someone, or you'll get a look, and it's an interesting study of human behavior. It really is. But as long as you're doing it right, your hair can be intact and healthy, and the integrity stays. And that's what we're about. If there's something that we're going to do to you, either nail service wise or skin wise or hair wise, and it's going to harm the integrity of what you have, we'll let you know. It's your decision because it's your hair at the end of the day, but we have no problem turning something down or giving you the option if we think it's going to harm.
Very good.
And
Barbara?
I was just going to say, I noticed
Yes.
her fingernails are the darker color, to match the darker color in her hair today.
Yeah.
So that gives you another reason to buy all these colored shoes, right?
Yeah, the trends really change, and like Brian was saying, with things on TV, people are more educated and they have more opinions, and they do kind of micromanage, but that's fine. We enjoy the opinion because it gives us a clearer picture of the look that they're looking for.
And I'm sure your customers must give you some feedback too, what they would like to see. Same with yours, your customers' feedback to you, what they'd like to see new, different, or what's more chic. Or
Well, and it's interesting that we share the same plaza. We're in the same plaza on Route 27, and we have a lot of similarities on our business in terms of how we try to cater to the customers. We always talk about making it worth the trip, because we're not in a location where somebody just happens to be walking around. They come as a destination to visit us, and we want to make sure that we're always conscious of that and making it worth it for them to come visit
I
us.
think when we talk about doing business at Edison, we talk about how the businesses have to put themselves out to make people feel warm and welcome. Like, for instance, I was just in Savannah, Georgia. Now, there's a tourism community if I've ever seen one. And the disposition, the friendliness, the smiles of the people there catering to the tourists is what your counter people do. Is people come into your store, you want them to come back repeatedly and spread the good word,
Right. Well, and we
People come
always
back.
try to talk to the employees about taking yourself out of the job for a minute and thinking about yourself as a customer, because we're all customers, and you think and you think about that experience. Well, okay, maybe you're having a good not having a good day. Everybody has a bad day, but if I go see a play, I don't care if the actor's had a bad day. I'm expecting that same performance. If I go to a restaurant, I'm expecting a pleasant experience, and
Right.
it's really, a lot of it is about just treating the customers as you'd like to be treated yourself.
I know you're not going to share your secret ingredients, but how do you make the cake so moist?
Well, and that is, part of it is about the freshness. It's always been about making sure it's fresh, and the ingredients that go into it as well. And when you've been around for 60 years, you have an opportunity to perfect things along the way and see what things work and what things don't. The customer is always the one who's going to tell you what works and what doesn't. But it's always interesting when we have a product and all the employees start buying it. And then we know, well, geez, it seems like there's something here that people may like. So
We mentioned the fact that you both are on Route 27, Lincoln Highway, in the Nixon Plaza. I was just reading an article in the paper to know that the Lincoln Highway is now over 100 years old. It is a coast-to-coast highway. It's something like 3,400 miles from coast to coast, and you guys are on that famous highway. I guess originally it must have been, stone or dirt or whatever, but
I
you
have
said
clients that remember when it was just a 2-lane dirt road.
Yes.
And now to see what it's developed into, and and I think that's also one of the hardest parts about being on 27 is it's become such a busy road, and it's especially right around Talmadge where we are. It's not the part of the highway where we can look around and say, oh, what's around here? So I think for both of us, and La Bombonera definitely has a great reputation, it's all word of mouth. I think that's the best thing. Unfortunately, we can't put signs out on the highway to say, here we are.
Right. When we celebrated the 100th anniversary just a few months ago, we do have a signpost up by Christie Street where the Edison Tower is, to indicate this is the famous Lincoln Highway. They also have one in Metuchen.
And you mentioned it's near the tower, the Edison
Yes.
Tower. What's
Yes.
new with the tower? You sit on that board? They're doing the reconstruction of the tower. The museum is open.
The museum is open. It's small, but the artifacts are from Thomas Edison. What the museum was originally one of his labs or workshops, and so it's really it's very, very interesting. There are hopes of expanding the museum, but right now what's happening is the restoration of the tower. The tower was built in 1937. It's an Art Deco design, And, you know, if you go now, you'll see all scaffolding around it, you know, until it's done. But we had the grand opening of the museum just a few months ago.
That has that kind of history.
Yes.
And again, you know, us being in business for 60 years, Jen's you know, business a little bit newer, but yet still been a hair salon in that location for so many years. And that's part of what it's about too, for a small business. It's about the community. It's about families. It's about next generations. One of our customers, longtime customers, just dropped off a picture, and she was in with her grandchildren, and she has a picture of them in front of the cases, pointing to the. And it's I have it on my desk. It's a great picture, and that's really what it's about. You know, is about families and celebrations, and that's one of the things that we're doing, is expanding our retail location and having a shop that's really focused on celebrations. So whether it's for wedding cakes, birthday cakes, or even everyday celebrations, we'll have expanded cupcake selections and things that you could bring as little gifts to people or to the office.
Do you have a specific chef, like a bake chef, a cake boss in your shop as well, or are there many chefs?
We have, since we're a full-line bakery, so we do breads, we do cookies, we do cakes, cupcakes, pastries. So we have specialists in each of the areas. So we have a bread person who's been with us for 15 years now and specializes in the bread. We have a pastry person who's been there for over 20 years.
Oh my.
Our cake decorators have been there again for anywhere between 10 and 20 years.
And all the baking is done right there on premise?
All the baking's done right in Edison, and it's one of the things that when people see the storefront, they don't really realize, but we actually have 2 levels in the back, and it's a pretty big operation. We have a total with all of our locations of about 63 employees right now. So,
Wow. How many locations do you have? Where are they?
We have 4 locations, so in Edison, Woodbridge, Somerset, and South Plainfield. But all the baking is done in Edison, and then we deliver every day. Edison is still our largest store, our largest location. The fact that everything's made in the same location here in Edison by the same people, so we know the product's going to be consistent and the quality is going to be the same.
Jen, what are your hours of operation?
It's funny because a lot of people expect us to be closed on Monday, and we're open Monday.
Oh.
The only day we're closed is Tuesday, so we're open Wednesday through Sunday. During the week, Wednesday through Monday, and then we are there until around 8 o'clock in the evening during the course of the week. But Sundays have actually turned into one of our busier days. We do a little bit of everything. Like you said, men, women, and children. We do on location for weddings, so when a bride's getting married, we'll come to them.
Wow.
We've gone as far as Pennsylvania to cater to one of our customers who wanted our services, which have been appreciated. We offer to do the destination weddings. We have yet to get taken up on that to go to the island. Yeah, have hairdresser will travel, but we do makeup as well. So it's a nice package deal.
And the compatibility between the 2 businesses right here. I mean, you feed off of each other. I'm sure you not feed, but you know what I mean.
We feed.
I know you go over there. Your daughter goes over
Absolutely.
there right next door to eat on those cupcakes. So you know, you're in the same kind of business, so you help refer each other, I'm sure. And that's what we, the Edison community, needs to be doing. We need to promote our business and how wonderful Edison is to live and to raise a family and to do business. And that's one of the reasons why we produce this this magazine about every 3 years or so. And we're going to do this again for the year 2014. And it talks about how friendly, how business friendly, how wonderful it is to do business and to live in the Edison community. So that'll be something new this year. And the other magazine, which is new, North Edison Life. So this is what we're doing. We want people to come to Edison to live, to do business, and to come from outside the area.
And that's been the great thing with Edison is you do see a lot of multi-generations, you know, people that grew up in Edison and they might skip out for college or whatever, but they come back. They come to raise their family. You know, the accessibility to the roads and stuff like that you can't beat in New Jersey, but they like the foundation that they had and want to pass that on to future generations.
One of the stories we like to tell about the businesses, not just because they're successful businesses, but also the impact, the economic impact that they have in the community. And many of the companies are frequently solicited for donations or involvement in the community. Perhaps maybe you can tell us a little bit about what your companies do for involvement in the community and giving back, I guess is what they call it.
Sure. That's one of the things that we think that's part of being a small business, is being part of the community. So we always look to support any way that we can, whether it's Girl Scout troops or the high schools. We're always doing things at project graduation,
Right.
Because it's really a good cause, and we can fit right in with that. We've also partnered with Elijah's Promise, which is a local charity in the area,
Yes.
and in fact, we did a Kids Day event, and Jen was talking earlier about how crowded the parking lot was. We had 175 kids come to Edison and decorate cakes, and there was a donation that went to Elijah's Promise as part of that. And
Very good.
so we ended up with the 4 locations having over 450 kids who
Wow.
participated. So yeah, we raised about $2,500 for Elijah's Promise as part of that. So.
We do a lot of different things. We try not to just anchor on one. We haven't found that one charity that we focus everything on. So we've done everything from a blood drive to a prom dress collection to doing hair for a prom fashion show and things like that. Canned food drive is something that's in our plans coming up soon. But we'll also do things in location where it's not necessarily a charity thing, but we open up our doors. One of our last ones was called What's in the Jar, and it's what's in your skincare ingredients. And that's something for men, women, teens. You just grab a facial cleanser off the shelf. Well, there's a reason that this one is $5 and this one's $50, and what the difference is going to be on your skin and the results. A lot of people. So we like to educate our clients, and that's something that happens on an everyday service. We don't just plop things on your head. We tell you why.
Right.
And why we're doing things a certain way and the difference that we try to make. But we've always been open to do donating and gift certificates and products and stuff like that, nice gift baskets. So
It's a great way to give back. And I know you probably take it out of your marketing expenditure, and businesses are always asked to donate. So we really appreciate your participation and your involvement, engagement in the community. That's what makes Edison the community that it is.
That's right. Edison means business. Well, it has been a pleasure to see you, to have time to talk to you.
Thank you very much.
Brian, Jen.
thank you for having me.